Hello and welcome to a very special edition of the Carolina Retro Gamers. As a lot of you may have known, one of the great boxers has passed away, and that's why we're playing this game. Yes, we're playing Muhammad Ali heavyweight boxing for the Sega Mega Drive or Genesis if you're in America. So, I actually had this game. I wasn't a Punch-Out kid. I actually played this. This is more of a simulation style boxing game where you didn't have to mash buttons to win. You had to rely on blocking, strategy, wearing your opponent out, and keeping your stamina up. If you didn't, you would be knocked out easier. So I, go in the options. You can either choose exhibition or tournament. If you choose tournament, you just rank up to, you fight 10 boxers, and then, you win the title. It will take, super long. There are two ways of controls. You can play arcade and button, I wouldn't say button mash, but strategically button mash, where you can play simulation. When you hold the buttons and move differently. I recommend arcade. Simulation is really crazy. The controls look so convoluted. But I use simulation for one match. So what I pulled up on my cell phone is my information about Muhammad Ali. Okay. In 1960, he won the gold medal for amateur boxing. His boxing record: 61 fights, 56 wins, 37 wins by knockout, 5 losses. Very impressive. He was born Cassius Marcellus Clay Jr., January 17, 1942 in Louisville, Kentucky. He died June 3rd, 2016 in Scottsdale, Arizona. He used an orthodox boxing stance. Muhammad Ali was famous for being one of the youngest champions in boxing history. Won the title when he was 20, and he legally had his name changed from Cassius Clay to Muhammad Ali as a way to express his faith in Islam. So he converted to Islam. He did defeat Sonny Liston in an upset in 1964. One fact is, 2 years after he won the world boxing title, he was drafted, and his religious teachings did not believe in violence, so they stripped him of the title and barred him from boxing for a couple years, and I mean a long time. He was put in jail for it, for not drafting Dodgers, but he stood his ground and stood in his beliefs, which makes him, a very inspirational man. There are even life documentaries. There was even a movie called Ali, which was played by Will Smith. Let me see. His trash talking, what he's known for, was an inspiration for Gorgeous George, the wrestler, which he did participate in a wrestling match, fighting Antonio Inaki in the 1970s. But that match. Let's just say that match was just nobody wants to remember that because it was They're not good. It was more of a shoot fight than anything. Muhammad Ali's like legs were hurting, like, you know. But with Muhammad Ali's trash talking, he was able to get in people's head. Like,
break it up.
it was always a mind game. Like how he got Sonny Liston, he would trash talk him. And after
And the winner.
he beat Sonny Liston by technical knockout, he did return. He was the greatest. At the age of 22, he defeated, Sonny Liston. Let's see who else. Patterson was one of his rivals. We want to talk about Smoking Joe Frazier. And this was after this was after his exile and comeback. Joe Frazier was one of his rivals. They had like a bunch of fights in March 8, 1971, the fight of the century. But when this fight was broadcast to 35 foreign countries as well, and Ali would do like pretty much pre-fight theatrics. Portray Frazier as a dumb two of the white establishment, or say Frazier's too ugly to be champ, or Frazier's too dumb. I mean, he would really rip into them. See.
Break it up.
There was a comic in which Muhammad Ali did take on Superman. One of the only people in comics to actually hold a victory over the Man of Steel. But they ended up, having to team up because aliens wanted to take on the toughest fighter. So the reason why Muhammad Ali fought Superman is to see who was going to fight the alien. It wound up being those two would fight, but obviously they had to be on equal footing, so they had to fight in a place where it was Red's sun, thus making Superman powerless. Because they would have thought Muhammad Ali would get the floor mopped. So Muhammad Ali won and did train Superman in boxing too. But Muhammad Ali did take on the alien and knocked him out in round 4, which I did like how Muhammad Ali would predict when he was going to knock his opponent out, which was cool. And I remember as a kid, I used to do book reports on Muhammad Ali, how he stuck to his beliefs, and pretty much, pretty much approaching the end of this video here. I'm like, pretty much laying in these punches on Bruno Franco. We also had another rival called George Foreman. They had on October 30th in Zaire, they had the Rumble in the Jungle match, which Ali did retire. Let me see.
Fight! Break it up!
In the 80s. In the 80s, so because he was getting old and he was losing his speed, which he was known for. But he's still remembered even to this day as the greatest. Carried himself well in the ring and out of the ring, and it inspired many people. And even one character in particular from the Rocky series, Apollo Creed, was mainly based off of Muhammad Ali. If you think about it.
Break it up.
So here I'm fighting Bruno Franco. Like, I know I chose the lowest ranked box. I just wanted to show off the game, pretty much to just talk about Ali, and I just knocked him on his behind. And you know, he's probably not gonna wake up or get up, so I pretty much knocked him out, and I won the fight again, because I did talk about how the differences. The second fight was under arcade control, but this is Freddy Chisholm of the Carolina Retro Gamers. Thank you for watching and listening to this Muhammad Ali tribute. And remember, kids, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Rest in peace, Muhammad Ali. You were one of the greatest and inspirational.